1, 2, 3, funk it.
My darling, I love you, 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 I l
Alright y'all, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am strapped up. My child is on the front of me right now. I'm recording this late at night. I did attempt to make this video a few times today, but every time I put Miss Ma'am down for a nap, she wants to get back up. Even tonight I attempted to put her to sleep, and well, here we are. If your question is she awake? Very much so. She is awake and eating, and I have about 3 different carriers, but right now this is the one she seems to like the most. So I have like a little burp cloth right here, because as she's eating, she leans her head to the side, and to keep from having this strap on her face or making her uncomfortable, I made like a little pillow right there. But let's get into what this video is about. So this is my 1 month update slash I will talk about my labor. I know I did post the labor video, but I never did speak about it or actually talk about my experience as a first time mom having a home birth. So I'll just briefly speak on that, and then I'll just give you a 1 month update, because Miss Nova will be 1 month in just about 3 more days. So we definitely made a quick month. It's a quick month. You okay? You see I got one hand right here because I have to hold my boob back so that she can breathe, because she'll bury her nose in here and then be low-key suffocating. So I'm just holding it here so that I can make sure that her nose is out and she's breathing. If you look closely, you can see her head is moving. She's eating with her eyes closed. But anyways, let's get right into it. Sorry y'all, I just be seeing stuff in her hair. But first off, I made no attempt to get cute for this video, because on a daily basis, this is what I look like. I actually put on a head wrap for y'all, but honestly, my hair be all over the place. I be half dressed. I have her on one arm, eating with the other arm. We'll get into that. So I think in the last video we talked about why I chose a home birth, all the different reasons. So let's just get into a quick overview of what happened the day I went into labor. So well, 2 days before I went into labor, I said in my last video that my doctor attempted to schedule an induction, even though I wasn't delivering with my doctor. I already had my midwife and my birth team set up, so the induction was never going to happen. But that was 39 weeks and 4 days. So I did get a cervical check, and the doctor said I was still only about 1 centimeter dilated, about 60-70% effaced. So that's when the cervix thins out and begins to open. They say that those checks really don't have any basis on when you were going to labor, but I was just curious as a first-time mom to get them done, so I got them done anyway. But I had been 1 centimeter for 2-3 weeks, so I just kind of chucked it to the back of my head. So after that appointment, I was feeling very discouraged, because I had a pretty easy pregnancy up until the end. When I hit about 37 weeks, I had very strong Braxton Hicks or false labor contractions that were about every 10 to 20 minutes, every 20 to 30 minutes. They never got closer than that, and they never went past an hour. So that was very annoying. That was every other day, sometimes every day, multiple times a day, not knowing if they were real, but then they would stop. And yeah, those last few weeks sleeping was impossible. Using the bathroom every hour, every 2 hours. Couldn't get comfortable. Sometimes couldn't sleep at all. Those last 2.5 weeks just really just really did it for me. I went from having a very easy pregnancy to just tired at the end, just tired. So that the day before I went into labor, I actually went outside and I walked the steps. I walked up and down my steps. I live on the 3rd floor of my apartment building, so I walked up 3 flights, down 3 flights, up 3 flights, down 3 flights, about 10, 15 times. In between that, I walked up and down the sidewalk about 10, 15 times, all while listening to music. And mind you, I'm in Georgia, so it was about 38, 40 degrees outside, but I was so determined to get some action that I was like, I'm do whatever. I came upstairs, I did squats, bounced on the ball, stretched, did some yoga poses, child's pose. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm not that familiar with yoga, so some of those poses I don't know the name of them, but they were supposed to open up the pelvic area and get things started. I'm not sure if any of these things actually got me into labor, but I'll tell you what I did anyway. And then I also tried the eggplant parmesan recipe. So I ate eggplant parmesan. It's just like eating lasagna. I ate about 2 plates of that about 9:30 that night before, and that was it. I think I had a headache. My tooth was kind of hurting, my wisdom tooth. I got impacted wisdom teeth, so they don't ever come in. So I kind of had some wisdom tooth pain. So I took a Tylenol about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. the next day. So that would make me 39 weeks and 6 days. And I went to bed. Now, I did do affirmations, I did script, I did all of that good stuff before bed as well, about being in labor, about it being okay for my baby to come, safely, healthy, all that stuff. If you want me to do a different video about scripting and manifesting, we can do that, but I won't spend too much time talking about that. But I did do those things before bed, and so I think I fell asleep around 2 a.m. And so, Tylenol, it worked quick, just one. 500 milligrams, really quick. Sorry, y'all, if I'm not looking at the cameras because I keep looking down at her to make sure she's okay. Let me see if nope, she's not done. I tried to take it, and she woke back up. But, went to sleep about 2 a.m., woke up at 4 a.m. to use the bathroom, which is normal because I usually wake up every 2 hours to pee. And so that was about 4 a.m., and I think that's when I felt my first contraction. It was a few minutes after 4 a.m. But it felt like the other one, so I wasn't quite sure. And the funny thing is, my midwife, she said that when I actually go into labor, that I probably wouldn't know. They would think everybody was saying they didn't think I was going to know that I was in labor, and that's actually what happened. I had no idea. So I didn't even time my contractions for the first 30, 45 minutes. I just laid there, and I just felt them. So I don't even know how far apart they were. I honestly don't even know if that was my first contraction at 4 because I took that Tylenol, so I was definitely good in sleep. Yeah, I just laid there, and they were very strong, a little stronger than the other ones that I felt the past couple weeks, but definitely there, constant. And once I hit the 1 hour mark, they didn't disappear like normal. So then I was like, okay, maybe I'll start tracking them. So started tracking them around 5 a.m. And they were all over the place. A few of them were 8 minutes apart, 7 minutes apart. Some of them were 3 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart. They were all over the place. So I was like, maybe it's really not real labor, maybe not. So it was about almost 6 a.m. at this point, and now that would have put me in labor for almost 2 hours without really just actually accepting that it was labor. So I text my doulas to see if any of them were awake, and they were all awake, to see, could this actually be real labor. So I told them that I had contractions. I showed them a screenshot of how far apart they were, and they said, okay, just keep monitoring them. It could be real labor. It sounds like it could be. Let's keep monitoring. So that was 6 a.m. So I started timing them from 6 to 7 a.m. and they were they had moved from 7 minutes apart to actually 1 to 3 minutes apart. So some of them were 3 minutes apart, some were a minute to a minute and a half apart. They were coming back to back. During that time, my body started to clear itself out. I tried to take a shower, but they were coming like every 2 minutes at that point. I know the video, just the clip that I put in the beginning of the video, you see that I had a contraction immediately after I started to record. And so I said, can't do the shower because I can't really stand, leave it be. So once it hit about 7 a.m., my doulas checked in. I said they're about 1 to 3 minutes apart. So they were on their way. I woke my mom up. She came in for the birth, told her that I think I'm in labor. And at that point, it had been 3 hours of me just being in the room, not saying nothing. And then things just picked up from there. I think my doulas got here the first doula got here about 8. The second one got here about 8:45, 9 o'clock. During that time, I was just walking back and forth through contractions. They were coming every 2-3 minutes, some stronger than others. And then I ended up going into the bathroom. I thought I had to use the bathroom, so I ended up going to sit on the toilet, and that's where I just stayed. If you watch the birth vlog, you'll see that I just ended up staying in there. And I stayed on the toilet for about 2 hours, like about 8:30 to about a little bit after 10, maybe somewhere like 10:15 or so. So during that time, I just ended up having my contractions on the toilet. They were very close. I stopped timing them after a point. They were just coming. We were just dealing with them. They weren't that bad. So, pain is different for every person. At that point, during this time, they weren't that bad, but they were constant. I did have to breathe through them. I did have to rock through them. I did have to moan through them. But nothing too bad. Around maybe 10 o'clock, I ended up throwing up really bad. And during that time, funny thing is when I threw up, are you okay? You okay? During that time, my water ended up breaking. I lost my mucus plug, and I had my bloody show all at one time. So some people lose their mucus plug prior to labor. They have a bloody show prior to labor. Some people even have their water break before they have contractions. All 3 of those happened for me at one time, just because I started to throw up. I think the force of me throwing up set everything off. She was already moving down, and you can feel that when you're in labor. You can feel your child moving down. You okay? Y'all, it's so funny. She's asleep, but she's still eating. And so if I try to take my nipple from her, she starts drinking again because she doesn't want me to take it. Let me take it. You good? Hold on, mama. Give it a second, y'all. She might cry, she might not. Okay. There we go. Looks like she is asleep. Oh, big burp, mama. Big burp. Looks like she's asleep. I'm just leave my skin exposed so we can have some skin to skin. But yeah, my water broke, and I ain't gonna lie, after my water broke, them contractions hurt. They got bad. They weren't to the point where they weren't manageable, but they definitely did. They definitely did hurt a little bit more around that time. And so it might have been about 10:30, 10:40. My midwife got there. She got set up. I moved from the toilet to the bed to the couch. And if you watch the labor vlog, then you see that I stayed on the couch and I gave birth on the couch. So originally it was supposed to be a water birth. Didn't make it in the tub. Just didn't happen. And I'm fine with that. Ended up having her on the couch, and she came in healthy, 6 pounds, 5.4 ounces, 20 inches, and that is where we are now. And so in the last month, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry, y'all. I had an important text for a second. The last month has been a experience, definitely a learning experience. I get a lot of questions about how am I recovering, how is postpartum. I will say that once I had her, I didn't feel like I had a baby. So even though I wasn't technically immediately healed. I felt no pain. I had no tears, thanks to my midwife. Um, yeah, I just didn't feel like I had a baby. It just really felt like nothing happened. It's kind of maybe I was in shock for a bit. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't bleed a lot. Even on the days following in this last month, I think I just smiling, y'all, and laughing. Maybe in the first week or so, I bled a little bit. I decided to go with adult diapers. Depends. Sorry, it is what it is. But I personally don't like pads, and the diapers are more comfortable, and I was able to function better, move around, do what I need to do better. So I did wear those, but I didn't bleed a lot. I noticed even now I'm 3 weeks, almost a month postpartum, and I'm still maybe bleeding a little bit, but it's only after I breastfeed. So if I breastfeed or if she feeds a lot during the day, which she does sometimes, then I bleed a little bit. Can definitely still feel my uterus contracting when she eats. In this month, and I will add some clips to this video. She had her first pediatrician appointment. She's been a few times. She had a hearing test, and she has her 1 month appointment coming up this Thursday. Now, I will tell you, like I told you in the last video, doctors versus midwives, totally different experience. This goes for the same thing goes for the pediatrician. I took her to her pediatrician for her first visit. She was weighed, and those are the videos you'll see coming up. She was weighed, measured again, evaluated, and she was 6 pounds, 5.4 ounces at birth. Babies lose weight after birth, just a few ounces or so, because especially for if you're breastfeeding, you gotta wait for your breast milk to come in. Mine took about 4 days or so, maybe 5 to fully come in. And then they drop below their birth weight and they go back. It's normal. So she dropped down from 6 pounds, 5.4 ounces down to 5 pounds, 9 ounces. So she dropped pretty far. Not too bad, but like I said, my milk took a couple days to come in, so she was on colostrum for 3 days. The pediatrician started tripping. She immediately tried to push formula on me and tell me that I needed to give my baby formula. She needed to gain weight, all that good stuff. I refused immediately. As soon as she recommended formula, I instantly declined, said I was not giving her formula. So she ended up making another appointment for us to come back 2 days later to see if she was gaining weight. So when we went back 2 days later, she was 5 pounds. She was 5 pounds, 8 ounces at that appointment. And then that Friday, 2 days later, she was 5 pounds, 9.5 ounces. So she went up sorry, I thought I heard something. She went up a pound and an ounce and a half, sorry. Hello, Mama, you good? You need to go to sleep, girl. You've been up all day. Yeah, she gained an ounce and a half in 2 days. So then the pediatrician felt a little bit more confident, but was still talking about you need to come back in 4 more days so I can see more progress, because she was saying that Nova dropped 13% below her birth weight, and they're only supposed to drop 10%. But I mean, like I said, she's already a tiny baby. Hold on, guys. You okay? You okay? What are you talking about, girl? Okay. All right. So we ended up going back 4 days later, and she went up to 5 pounds, 14 ounces. So after that, the pediatrician was no longer concerned and left it alone. But they instantly tried to push formula, and I wasn't in agreement with that, so I declined. You gotta be your own advocate. You gotta advocate for your children. I declined, and she's not going on formula. That's that. That following week, she had a hearing test. She passed that with flying colors. So the only thing I need to do now, sorry y'all, are you waking back up again, girl? Close your eyes. She's so tired, y'all, but she's been fighting to sleep all night. Yeah, go back to sleep. So, only thing I need to do now is just go file for her birth certificate, which I've already done all the paperwork, got everything notarized. I just have to actually leave the house and go turn everything in. But that is the only thing that's left to get done. Her in general. So, for the most part, she's a interesting baby. She's quiet-ish. Except, as you can see, she's starting to wake up now. You okay? Are you okay, Mama? Are you okay? Here. There you go. There you go. Hold on, y'all. Girl, you gonna expose me on this video. Here you go. Hold on, y'all. There you go. It's up here, Mama. It's over here. Sorry, y'all. Okay. And I'm not gonna cut this out because I want y'all to see. This is what I go through with this little beauty queen. So, yeah, she was asleep for this short amount of time, and now she's up and she's eating again. And I really think she's just using me as a pacifier at this point, but it's fine. We're gonna get through this video. But she has found her voice. She does cry very loudly, but only when she's hungry, or in cases like now when the nipple fell out and she was trying to get it back. She's upset. She hates getting her diaper changed. She hates getting baths. She hates changing clothes, period. So, when you change her clothes, she screams the entire time. Change her diaper, screams the entire time. Give her a bath. Not so bad, just depends. Mom, you gotta breathe, girl. You gotta let me move this out of your area for your nose. Can't suffocate yourself. She will sleep for huge stretches. I can't get her to sleep today for some odd reason, but she does sleep pretty good. Just can't get her to sleep in her bed. That's what I'm struggling with now. I made the mistake of putting her in my bed, and so now, in order for her to sleep, we must sleep together, which is fine. I tried to put her in her bed tonight, and she screamed bloody murder all night. So that's why she's strapped to me now. And I know that if I go to bed and I go lay down, she will lay down as well. But definitely doesn't play by her food. Has discovered her hands. Has discovered feet, kinda. Definitely a shady baby when it comes to faces. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see all the different faces that she makes. Definitely smiles, but definitely makes a lot of shady faces. So I would love to see how that plays into her personality. She's still a teeny tiny thing, so she's long legs and arms and fingers and toes, but small body. So she's still wearing preemie clothes and a few newborn clothes. She can't wear the 0 to 3 months because they're too big. So all the clothes I got kind of just on standby right now. It's fine because we're in the house. She's not going nowhere. So just onesies and sleepers and socks and stuff because, yeah, my baby's a teeny tiny thing. But she's putting on some weight. Her cheeks are fatter. She's heavier. And so we're getting there. This carrier right here, this seems to be a new thing where in order to get anything done, got to strap her to your body and walk around. You will put her in this and she will sleep. And you can get everything you need to get done. But you take her off of you, everything gonna break loose. She gonna scream, everything else. So she likes to be close. She likes the body heat. She likes skin to skin. She likes to be cuddled. Even in bed, she likes to cuddle. So her sleeping by herself is gonna take a little work. A little dramatic. She does this thing when she's crying and she's upset where she holds her breath and constricts her airway and throws tantrums. when she's upset, she does lay flat and stretch out her legs and arms. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I thought tantrums started much later, but apparently with this one, since week 1, she throws tantrums and lays out and falls out, and wasn't ready for that. Yeah, that's just it. Like, she's just sleeping and eating. I have all these gadgets and gadgets. She likes the mamaroo for the most part. If she's sleeping, she'll stay in it for a while before she wakes up. Um, Definitely tired. We just started tummy time. She kind of hates it, but we're getting there. Um, do I get sleep? I think that's a question I keep getting. Kinda. First week or two, I wasn't getting much sleep at all because she was just eating all night and all that good stuff. Now, with her in the bed with me, she would sleep for longer stretches a period of time, so I can sleep longer when she sleeps. So that's the only reason why I am hesitant of putting her in her bed, because I know as long as she's in the bed with me, I'm getting sleep. Um, Definitely with breastfeeding. Originally, we did have difficulties that first day or two because she's so small and I'm have a bigger chest, that she was having a hard time staying latched. But I found positions that work for us. So laying her on top of my chest and giving her more control seemed to work for a while. And so even now she likes this position where she can kind of control how much she eats versus laying her in my arm and feeding her from the top. So we got that down packed after a couple of days. Nipples were sore for a while, but I used breast milk and nipple butter to kind of heal that. And so now I just make it a daily routine to kind of keep that together, and that's not an issue. But she's very aggressive when she eats, so I will swear sometimes she have teeth, but they just gums. When she's hungry and she's been hungry, it does feel like an attack. She kind of leans forward and lunges at you when she's eating. Um, yeah, breastfeeding, definitely stay thirsty, definitely stay hungry, but I don't really eat that much because I just don't have a big appetite, but I do drink lots of water. I'm getting used to the taste of coconut water. Not a fan, but getting used to it. Um, I've taken out the house a few times just to doctor's appointments or to the store real quick. Loves car rides. She will go to sleep in the car, but that's after you get her strapped in and you start driving. Initially putting her in the car, she cries. She doesn't like stretching her legs out and for you to buckle her up. But once the car starts moving, she goes to sleep and she's happy. Now if the car stops, like if you stop to park or stop at a stoplight, she wakes up and she's upset again. There's been a few instances where I've had to jump in the back seat and I've had to breastfeed in the car because when she's hungry, she's hungry. She's not going to stop crying. So that's very interesting to have that experience already where I've had to breastfeed in the back multiple times. I went to Kroger and I had her in a carrier just like this with the blanket on because it was cold. And I had to feed her the entire time in the store. She was asleep, like she is now sleep eating, but this kept her from crying. She was very content like she is now. Yeah, so love car rides, love eating, hates baths, hates getting changed, don't like diaper changes. Tummy time is kind of Mama Roo is kind of sometime. She likes movement, so if you follow my Instagram, you'll see a lot of times to get her to sleep, we're usually in here dancing, rocking, moving. It has to be some type of movement. You see me, I'm rocking now. It has to be some type of movement to get her to sleep. Once she's good in sleep, you can kind of stop and she doesn't notice and she'll stay asleep, but definitely need some movement. Me, I'm fine. No aches, no pains, no major issues. I will say that this postpartum period has made me crave and appreciate my solitude. I do like being by myself with her or, with Anika here, but I don't really have no desire to be around people, no desire to talk on the phone, no desire to really text. Just kind of been doing my thing, staying to myself. It is what it is. kind of just been doing self-work, spiritually growing, meditating, just changing. Pregnancy changes you. I do not feel like the same person I was before I got pregnant, and not even the same person I was when I was pregnant. And I'll just leave it at that. But I'm definitely doing okay. I've gone back and I've watched my birth vlog, and I have a very good memory of things. You know, there's certain things I don't remember because I was in the zone, but I have a pretty good memory of things, and I will say that I enjoyed my birth. I enjoyed my birthing team. You probably will hear me say that in every video. I'm going to use my same team. Definitely will shoot for home birth again. Definitely recommend home birth. I just will say, do your own research, advocate for yourself, and let your experience be your experience, because the way labor was described to me by every other person, my labor was not that way. I enjoyed my labor. My labor was not bad. It was not traumatic. It wasn't even super painful. So I would say do just your experience is your experience, because my experience is not doesn't even mirror the experiences I've heard. Yeah, definitely. That's all I can say about that. I will say, again, didn't know I was in labor, and when it happened, it happened. It took off. I was in labor 7 hours. She was here in 7 hours. So from 4 a.m. to when she came at 11:33 a.m. So that's it. Very quick for a first-time mom. No complaints. And being home felt amazing to be able to give birth, get cleaned up, and get right in your bed, and not have anybody constantly checking you and checking on you or intruding or coming in. Once I was settled, everybody left, and I was to myself for days before anybody came to really bother me or really check in, which is fine. And so I do appreciate that freedom of being able to be with my child immediately and not have to send her to the nursery and just do all that. So yeah, this is us at 1 month. We're just coasting. We're learning. We're just doing it. So we'll see how it is when we get to the 2-month mark. But if you have other questions or topics or things you want to know about my labor and delivery, or about her, or about whatever, DM me and I will make a video and address those, or I will write you back personally and answer that. But until next time. All right, good morning, y'all. We are at the doctor's office. Nova is having her first pediatrician appointment. I can tell you right now, she's not the happiest camper, because today was her first day riding in the car seat. So that took some adjustment, strapping her in. And then now I gave her this pacifier, and she really wants some boob. So she's quiet and she's trying, but she really wants some boob right now. And so, as you can see, she's not in the best mood. She's trying to take a cat nap and hope that maybe when she opens her eyes that I can feed her. And so we're just going to get in this appointment and get out. And let's hope for the best, y'all. Okay, y'all, scratch what I said. I had to go ahead and pop my boob out under this blanket. So Miss Nova is going to work. She ain't crying no more. She's very content. But yeah, the pacifier didn't last that long. I had to go ahead and pop the boob out for her in the waiting room. We still waiting though. Stick with us.
The freak girl. I see the freak girl.
You doing so good, boo.
I am free. So,
You're doing real good for the lady.
who's staring at you, Mama?
Trying to figure out why your mama got this mask on, girl.
Okay. Then I just have to check.
Bless you.
Bless you. Check her.
You're doing so good. I think it's because I gave you that boob before you came in here.
Mommy until she get hungry. She's somebody different.
It's because I gave her that boob just now in the waiting room.
Oh, so she good and full. That's why she crying.
Honestly, because if it's time to eat now.
Honey, she gonna alarm it. She gonna alarm up.
You're doing good, Pooh.
She is. She doing so good. Almost, sweet girl. This thing take a minute to pick up. Heart rate 131. O2 95. Hold on, let me see if I can get O2 to go up when they laying down. So, Mommy, can you put her in a sitting up position and kind of hold her?
See, I'm at the halfway point. I'm doing so good. They got me all naked in this waiting room. I know, it's not boob. So it ain't what you want. Look at that. She want me to pull that boob out. We'll be back. All right, y'all, we're back. We're still waiting on the doctor. As you can see, she is now content. So far, they've weighed her. She's 5 pounds, 9 ounces right now. Her oxygen is 95. Her heart rate is 135. So everything's looking good. Just waiting for them to come and finish up. And then we can finally put clothes back on her. And we can go. Are you better now?